welcome to another T-Money video. Today we're going to talk about time signatures. Every piece of music has a time signature to it. What you're going to find on your piece of music is we have a clef sign followed by a key signature. I'm going to cover that in a different T-Money video, but what I really want to get to today are these sets of numbers that we have next to your clef. We call that a time signature. And the top number is going to refer to the number of beats that we have per measure. When we look at a staff of music, if we divide that staff up with some lines, we create a measure, and according to this time signature, we need 4 beats to fall within that measure. If I had a 3/4 time signature, that means within that measure, I'd have 3 beats that I would have to have present. Now, the bottom number is different though, and when I refer to the bottom number, we got to look over here at our note hierarchy chart. On the top, we have what we call a whole note. After that, a half note, we have a set of quarter notes, we have some eighth notes, we have some 16th notes. By the way, our eighth notes connected by a beam, one single beam, and then our 16th notes are connected by 2 beams across, and that's really how you tell the difference between your 8th and your 16th notes. At any rate, the whole note's like the sun in our solar system. Everything looks to it. So I get a lot of times kids that say, well, a quarter note must get a quarter of a beat, and that's not the case. A quarter note gets its name and value from being a quarter of the value of a whole note. Our half note is a half of the value of a whole note. All of these eighth notes are 1/8 the value of a whole note. And then 16th notes, 1/16 of our whole note. We can keep going, by the way. We could have 32nd notes, 64th notes. It can kind of be endless, but these are generally the collection of the notes that we deal with. So, coming back to our time signatures, the reason we need to draw attention to that is this bottom number is telling me the type of note that equals 1 beat. In this case, the 4 is going to represent a quarter note. I oftentimes tell my kids, you got to envision a 1 being on the top, a 1/4 meaning a quarter note. Let's use another example here. If I had 3/8 time, I'd have 3 beats per measure, and if I envision a 1 matching up with this 8, a 1/8 or an eighth note is going to equal 1 beat. Let's do another one. 5/16 time. 5 beats per measure. Now we have a 16th note that equals 1 beat. 2/2. 2 beats in a measure, and a half note is now going to equal 1 beat. Once we locate what note equals 1 beat, when we start to apply our counting, that's where we can start to also then refer to our subdivision. So if a half note equals 1 beat, each of these quarter notes is half the value of a half note, so each of these is going to be half of a beat. And that's why the understanding of how our hierarchy of notes falls into play really has to be something that you understand. By the way, one other quick note, you'll sometimes see literally a C as your time signature. This is referred to as common time. Common time is going to equal 4/4 or 4/4 time. If I take that common time and I put a slash through it, I've just created cut time, and what I did with that slash is cut all of the values in half. That actually is going to be 2/2 time. So, hey, you just saw a time signature T-Money video. Until next time, T-Money out.